Big House, though, we were talking about how Big House, like, needs to get back to form, become the prestigious major it once was, and then they start out by banning everyone's controller.
I had to start going through and like a mental list in my head. I was like, are any of my controllers not notched?
Well, you know what we said was, what we were saying was Big House was lacking a novelty thing to set it apart from other tournaments.
This is
So
the novelty.
Is
banning your controllers.
That you will only be able to use standard issue Big House controllers that they give to you from the controller box of things people have left behind.
Yep.
You know, every local has that controller box for someone. If some random person wanders in, you want him to like be able to play or play friendlies or something, and it's just a bunch of shitty like off-brand controllers most of the time. Those are the only things you get to use for Big House. That's a true execution.
Dude,
test.
I swear, some of those third-party controllers like low-key have perfect dashback, but no one will ever know because no one ever took the time to test.
Oh God.
Hey guys, welcome to Analog, also known as the army of melee podcasts.
Which means, I guess, that we're carried by our characters execute. We're actually better.
We are carrying the content.
The character, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. We're carrying being saddled to a Super Smash Brothers Melee podcast with our excellent podcast.
We are
really
lifting this.
Bother with this game.
We're lifting this game up to this level that we brought it. If we were League podcasters, we'd be rolling in it. If we were Fortnite podcasters, we'd be rolling in the money.
Are there Fortnite podcasts? Do you want?
We need to delete this episode. Did we just?
You said League of podcasters. I was like, oh yeah, there's a ton of that. But wait, are there Fortnite podcasters? There's a whole generation of 13-year-olds listening to their first podcast. The Fortnite podcast.
Okay, well. That's just one.
That's just one. Number.
Oh, this looks like it's from. Well.
No, they're just using the branding.
Yeah. Well, anyways.
Follow them on Twitter at Fortnite Podcast.
That's.
Wait. Go to at Fortnite Podcast on Twitter. How many followers do they have?
Fortnite Podcast.
Okay. Oh, come on!
Less than 2,000 followers.
They have only like 100 followers more than I do on my personal account.
Dang, we could overtake them pretty quick.
That'd be easy as fuck.
All right, first step, we both need to play Fortnite for the first time.
Yeah, we install Fortnite.
Neither of us has ever played.
First step, download Fortnite on our phones.
True.
Just do that.
That's true.
Right?
And on Switch, right?
Yeah.
Is it out on Switch yet?
Yeah, it's been.
Okay,
when they announced
I don't know,
it,
man.
It was out.
I don't know.
The whole thing when they announced it was like, it's out already.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and then they played it.
Speaking of things on the Switch, so for those of you who have kept up with my Twitter, like last week I was just swamped with work the whole week, and I really wanted to play DBFZ because Cooler and 17 came out, right? And I'm like, damn, now I'm not going to get a chance to play them. And then I was traveling the whole weekend because I went back to Virginia for the weekend to do some family stuff, and obviously I don't have my PS4, my PC down there. Then I remembered DBFZ came out on Switch. Mm-hmm. So on my 4-hour bus ride, I spent the second 2 hours learning 17 and Cooler Tech.
That's sick.
And then I played on Saturday at home, and I played again yesterday on the bus on the way up here.
The Switch is such a sick mobile gaming
and
device.
I was
it's
like,
so fun.
I was like, if this is what it's like for DBFZ, I can't even imagine once we have a full Smash game on this thing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just waiting for once there's a real Pokemon game on Switch. My life's over. That's it. That's gonna be everything.
The only downside of DBFZ is that the controls kind of suck.
Oh, I'm sure.
Like
should have brought a Pro controller.
Yeah, I guess that has a proper D-pad, right? Yeah, you need a proper D-pad if you're a pad player like I am. Yeah. Because I'm trying to use the stick and do an instant air dash, and you need to go
that's hard
diagonal.
As fuck. Yeah.
Like I have it maybe like 70% consistency, but that's not nearly enough because that's like wave dashing. It's like the equivalent of wave dashing.
IAD's real. Well, it's not just wave dashing because you have to double input the horizontal.
I mean, in terms of usage, like you need to use it as consistently.
Exactly. Yeah. But it's harder to do, honestly.
No, it's not. Okay,
on an analog stick.
On an analog stick.
It's a way less natural motion to do. Because wave dashing is all about, look, when you're wave dashing, you can hold in a direction and it's just about timing.
Well,
IAD, you have to go like that.
As I'm saying this, I realized that I tap jump wave dash, so my
oh yeah.
So I actually this is
really
actually much
easy
easier for me than. But
even,
the thing is,
even that is easier than an instant air dash because you go from one direction to the other direction, whereas instant air dash you have to do one direction, go back to neutral, and then do it again, right? With the stick.
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
It doesn't work.
I think they have to be individual inputs.
You can't quarter circle from. You can't like eighth circle. From
you can't like slide
up right
it. You can't
to right,
slide it.
right? That won't work.
I don't think it does.
If that worked and you were trying to.
No, I'm pretty sure it doesn't.
Okay.
That wouldn't make any sense.
No. No, that would just make you do a diagonal jump and drift forward.
But the Switch also has simple controls for DBFZ so that you can play with a single Joy-Con.
Oh,
which I didn't even realize was a thing. I accidentally turned it on, and the first online match I'm playing, I literally couldn't use my assists or switch character or like do supers because my triggers weren't working, and I had no idea what the other controls were. So I lost. But long story short, the Switch is crazy.
Mario Party comes out soon. I need to get that.
4 days, dude.
Yeah,
4 days.
wait. I need to go pre-order that at GameStop or something for pickup because we have people staying with us on the 6th. Mm-hmm. No, the 7th. It comes out on the 6th, I think. I think it's 5 days.
I'm debating just hosting like a Super Mario Party like here.
You should.
Next weekend.
That'd be sick.
If you're down.
I'd totally come.
Because one of my best friends from college just moved here last week too, and I know he's down to play.
Hell yeah.
So weekend after Big House, I'm probably just gonna do it because I want to play Super Mario Party.
Yeah, but we have people staying with us this coming weekend, and I'm gonna buy Super Mario Party, and then my girlfriend's best friend from college is no longer gonna be her best friend from college anymore.
That's awesome.
It's gonna ruin everything. Yeah, that's great.
I think I need to get a new SD card because I keep running out of space now.
I don't have one. I need to get one.
Yeah.
It's really hard in New York.
I'm just gonna order online.
Is that something? I feel like tech stores in New York are so woefully horrible. They're so awful.
They're also, if you buy an SD card anywhere in stores, it's always more expensive.
Yeah, that's
like
true.
significantly more
expensive.
expensive.
I should just Amazon Prime a micro SD card.
That's what I'm literally gonna do. Like as soon as I remember after this episode, I'll do that.
Yeah, I guess I should probably download Super Mario Party too because it's one of those games you do want to have everywhere.
Yeah, I want to have. I mean, all my games are digital right now, but like I always want to have Zelda, Mario, Smash Ultimate, DBFZ, Super Mario Party, Mario Kart 8. Having all those games with me at all times without having to switch any cartridges is like absurd.
I have done it between. I only have 3 or 4 games that are downloaded. It's Dead Cells, Octopath, Mario Kart 8, and Aces. And then I have my Switch case, which it's always in. So I keep Odyssey and Breath of the Wild and Octopath in there, and it's like that's enough.
I wonder how the loading time varies from cartridge to digital.
It's not that. I've looked it up. It's a little bit better. It's a little bit better digital. The best is.
Oh, it's better digital.
Yeah, the best is system memory, so actually not on an SD card, but
Makes
initial.
sense.
So I'm actually lucky because since I don't have an SD card, the digital games I have right now download really, really fast. Or sorry, load really, really fast. And then I think it's SD card and then cartridge.
Okay. Because that was one thing with DBFC is the loading time is pretty bad compared to
really?
PC.
Interesting.
I don't know. Anyways, the Switch is cool. There's been more footage on Let's Go Pokemon.
Yeah, Pokemon Let's Go. The new Pokemon got revealed.
Meltan.
Meltan. I like Meltan.
Yeah,
I like all Pokemon. I think you can. I just get really happy when people have weird Pokemon that are their favorite Pokemon. It teaches you so much about that person.
Yeah.
And it's brave because people will shit on you for liking Pokemon that they think are weird.
I told you what my weird one is, right?
I think so.
It's Wishy-Washy.
Oh, yeah. Wishy-Washy is a sick one.
I love Wishy-Washy.
No one's going to make fun of you for liking Wishy-Washy, though.
Yeah.
When Gen 7 first got revealed, everyone was like, Wishy-Washy is the coolest fucking thing ever. And now everyone's like, it's whatever.
No, it's the coolest.
But, like, I'm talking about people who, like, Garbodor is one of their favorite Pokemon. Those people are brave. I respect them so much. And Garbodor is cool.
I want to be friends with someone whose favorite Pokemon is Muck. because Muck is sick.
That's an interesting one.
Like whenever I mean, if you guys have been listening to the podcast, you know I've been watching the Pokemon Marathon at all times. It's literally on in our peripheral.
Yeah.
Anytime Ash uses Muck, like for a league conference or something, he's like, "All right, Muck, absorb them." It just starts surrounding them.
Dude,
it's so funny.
I've been having a soft spot for Muck recently because Alolan Muck is like really good in OU.
Is he dark?
He's poison dark.
Poison dark.
So you run him, and he has he has poison touch, so he has a chance to poison with any contact move. So you run him with Assault Vest, which means he's super specially tanky, and then he's a Pursuit Trapper, and he just takes no damage from special moves. You can switch him into literally anything, and then since a lot of the time those Pokemon will be Psychic types or something else that does not want to get pursuited or knocked off, he just does a shit ton of damage. Dang. He's really good. He's really good. Gen 7, I still don't like Gen 7 OU, but it is cool that there are a lot of weird Pokemon that are like you wouldn't expect to be good just based on their stats that show up and are good.
Yeah.
It's cool.
I ended up watching a few False Swipe Gaming videos last week, and I think through that I got suggestions for like the VGC championships this year. And I don't really keep up with VGC, but I just like watched the whole thing just for out of interest because I've watched it before like a long time ago. Is that what most people play? Like that's like the prime.
So that's the prime like serious competitive thing,
right?
And the only two like real sponsored Pokemon players, which is Aaron Zhang, Cybertron, and Wolf, sponsored by Panda. They're both VGC players. So that's like the more esports side.
You know, fun fact: I heard of Wolf first through my high school voice teacher.
Oh really? Oh yeah, true. Because he does vocal stuff too.
Yeah, he and I apparently went to the same voice teacher.
That's
private
so funny.
Voice teacher outside of school.
That's so funny.
Because I mentioned Smash stuff to her, and she's like, "Oh, another one of my students is like the Pokemon World Champion," and I'm like, what? and you know, sometimes with like adults who aren't familiar with esports, like. Sometimes they exaggerate,
yeah. And
I'm like, right. Is this guy really like the world champion?
Like, oh, yep,
and then I found out later, she told me his name. I was like, wow, that's cool.
So. But yeah, VGC is like the more esports side of things. But I think more people probably still play singles in general.
Like on Smogon and stuff?
Yeah,
online.
On Pokemon Showdown, on Pokemon Online. Yeah.
I like the VGC format. I think it's cool.
I like doubles. It too. I like doubles too. I just never learned it. I just grew up. Like my competitive history was playing singles, and that's what I know. And
I liked the creativity when you know, the few times that I did try playing Pokemon competitively online. I liked the creativity of coming up with like I usually built novelty teams, and doing a team like 2-on-2 gave me some good flexibility.
There's a lot of creativity you can use in VGC. I think VGC is overall a more balanced format because of how matchups don't affect it as much in terms of team building, and also hacks. Well, hacks is still huge in VGC, and like Rock Slide can be a big thing. But with you being able to predict and like protect against offensive moves a lot of the time, or just like there's two Pokemon affecting, and you can choose. There's more variables in where you want to aim your attacks and double up or something. Hacks isn't quite as big a deal as it is in single, where getting hacks just means like you lost a counter matchup that was going to have you with
luck.
Yeah, hacks being luck. RNG. That's where hacks' name comes from.
For those of you guys who don't know,
but
history lessons.
Singles has some really fun dynamics in it that VGC doesn't have. Like a good singles match in Pokemon just looks like everyone's switching like every other turn, just angling to get the one matchup that lets them make a correct prediction.
That's part of what I didn't like about
so
one-on-one singles.
It's
just
so
like
fun.
I'm a melee player. I just want to get in there and fight. I don't want to like keep dashing back.
No, reading, you know? But it's not dashing back. It's like dashing in when someone full hops or something, and then you're underneath them. It's more like that.
But yeah, that's when you get the read on the switch. Right?
Yeah.
But then actually switching is a dash back.
Well, I mean, listen, nothing feels better.
To slowly transition this.
Nothing feels better than you switch in a Pokemon that like will do okay, in the matchup that you have. And then but it's not going to do anything massive. And then you read that they're going to make another switch, and you double out to something, or you double back to the thing you already had in before that. Just doubling in Pokemon is like, it makes you feel so genius when you pull off a good double.
So you dash back twice. Good job, man.
Yeah, exactly.
You're now the Zane of competitive singles Pokemon.
Hey, we were just talking about this. Army is a genius. Fiction tweeted that Zane is the army of Marth, and nothing could be further from the truth. Because Army is the one who should be offended by that. Army is such a good player.
Yeah.
And he plays Ices.
Meanwhile, Zane just gets carried
by Marth's neutral.
Yeah.
Can you imagine Zane playing Sheik?
I know. He'd be bad.
What would he do?
He would try to dash back and then realize his initial dash was over, and then he was stuck.
Exactly. That is exactly what would happen, actually. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
You explained that very well.
I do have to be full disclosure. I was playing Zane in June a couple days ago while I was back in VA. Mm-hmm. Zane did beat my DK.
With his Marth?
With his Marth, yeah.
But that matchup's impossible for Marth.
I know.
Back air outranges.
I know. He got carried by his neutral, and he spammed counter.
You know, I was talking to someone at Apollo, and I was talking to them about, they're like, oh, good episode a week ago or something. I was like, what episode was that? And I was like, oh yeah, cool, thanks, man. And then
the one where we talk about Rishi's DK. The one.
It was I think it was the Nightmare episode, but they also talked about the DK episode, and I literally said, yeah.
Wait, which one?
I actually just need Rishi to like shut up about his DK though. They're like, but Rishi's DK is really good. I was like, yeah, I know. We don't need to talk about it every episode.
Don't we? Don't we?
And then they said, every podcast has that one annoying thing that someone won't shut up about.
Our goal is to have 4 of those things, so 3 more, guys. God. I'm sure we already have a few that we don't.
We have quite a few. Yeah, I think we have quite a few. Yeah, but
this week is Marth and Fox, though.
Yeah, serious for Big House.
Yeah, when I have time. Who knows, man?
I mean, after you heard that they were allowing notch controllers.
I know, then I started practicing. I'd already thrown my controllers away. I need to get new ones now.
That was so funny.
I was like, there's no way this is what they decided to do.
So what happened was Big House released their
the rule
set, and it says controllers with notches or like any aesthetic modifications like painted shells or anything will not be allowed. And everyone was like, what?
Not in all caps.
Not in all caps. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? And it turns out that what happened was Rob was editing the rule set last night before release, and he straight up just put not in the wrong place because he was trying to disallow personal Arduinos. Oh my god. Fucking Nez was about to riot, dude.
I know, dude. Alright, I'm trying to find out if they're gonna list when the bracket's best of 5, because without fail, every bracket fails to do this. Yep. It doesn't say when best of 5.
It said all sets are best of 3 TBD. It said that.
Until TBD.
Yeah.
What did I say, man? That no tournament... You know how hard I have to hunt for this information at every major? Like, just tell me when best of 5 starts. No one ever knows until literally like the day of, and then they have to escalate the question until you get to the head TO, like, because no one has a good answer. And then you look at brackets, and it's like one side of bracket 2-1, the other side of bracket 3-2. Like, people are playing the wrong number of games in the wrong parts of bracket.
Yep.
So, now we know.
Big House, though, we were talking about how Big House, like, needs to get back to form, become the prestigious major it once was, and then they start out by banning everyone's controller.
I had to start going through like a mental list in my head. I was like, are any of my controllers not?
Well, you know what we were saying was Big House was lacking a novelty thing to set it apart from other tournaments.
This is the novelty. Is banning your controllers.
That you will only be able to use standard issue Big House controllers that they give to you from the controller box of things people have left behind.
Yep.
You know, every local has that controller box for someone. If some random person wanders in, you want him to like be able to play or play friendlies or something. something, and it's just a bunch of shitty, like, off-brand controllers most of the time. Those are the only things you get to use for Big House. That's a true execution
Dude,
test.
I swear, some of those third-party controllers, like, low-key have perfect dashback, but no one will ever know, because no one ever took the time to test.
Oh, God.
Honestly, though, like, Big House seems to have put together a number of side events that are looking kind of interesting. I saw there's an under 16 bracket that I know Zamu has his eyes on.
That's crazy. Under 16 bracket. Wow.
There's,
Is Cal still under 16?
I don't know.
Does Cal even still play anymore?
I don't know, man. He peaked in the top 15 last year, and
how old's Azel? Is Azel going?
I don't know.
Fuck, dude. Azel Zamu grand finals of under 16 bracket would be sick.
Yeah.
Azel's amazing.
There's a DBFZ side bracket too. Trying to decide if I want to enter. Depends on how good I get my 17 this week. Because right now my 17 is kind of ass. Mm-hmm. So is my Trunks.
Looking more like a 33rd.
Yeah. That was okay. You increased the number though. You know.
Well, you're not going to get 25th. I'm being reasonable. If your 17's hot garbage, I don't think you're going to get 25th.
I don't think it's working. I think you should have been like...
Why is it not working?
I think you should have just picked a lower number.
Oh, I should have gone like 65th?
No, you should have been like your 17's looking more like a 12.
That's not a placing, though.
You didn't need to be a placing.
Yeah, it did.
No,
it works because 17th is a placing in a double elim bracket.
Yeah, but it's Android 17. You would say your 17's looking more like a 9.
Our viewers call out Rishi for this. He's just salty because I said he's not going to do well.
No, I didn't get it because your joke wasn't good. I'm sorry.
No, my joke was good.
I'm telling it like it is.
My joke was good. Wow.
I know the viewers at home are with me on this.
I guarantee you
we'll talk about it on our Patreon live chat next week.
Oh yeah, we're doing that after Big House.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to remember to put that in the thing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a thing I wanted to remember is maybe I'll do that. I've had a hard time. This is a little look behind the scenes, you guys, but starting with the time when we had Scar on the podcast. We should have Scar on the podcast again. I've been mostly doing like a little teaser before the episode of something funny we did that doesn't like reveal too much of the bigger conversation.
Yep.
I might do it with that we just did there. Last week I didn't do it because we didn't say anything funny, or it was just like really protracted. It was just really protracted and long when we did. But I keep like. It's so exhausting because I have to look through for this one fucking thing. I usually have some idea of what I want to put in, but I can't fucking find it. But now I'm going to remember that at 21 minutes, I made an incredible joke.
I give it like a low number.
Oh, God.
See, when you say something that makes someone laugh, then you know your joke is...
I laugh at everything. I laugh when you talk about DK because I'm committed to a good viewing experience. That's basic improv, Rishi. You say yes and.
Yeah.
Don't diminish your partner.
Yeah. I'm trying to lift you up. Just like we are lifting
just
up
like
Melee.
Deco cargo. You're trying to fucking cargo throw me.
I've learned a lot about life from Donkey Kong.
From Donkey Kong?
Yeah.
You've learned how to properly give high fives.
Yeah.
You're doing it wrong. You're all.
I can't wait to practice that with Plump this weekend.
I want you to do an actual kick
in
like
person.
This. Yeah.
Anytime we land it in, I still crack up just thinking about like the moment we discovered it and kept trying to go for it in the middle of a game. Was so funny, dude.
Speaking of low numbers, I technically got my first NYC PR win over the past week.
Who?
I beat Jamie. I beat Whiskers, who I've been beating for years.
So what's your, yeah.
And I had a 10-game...
Oh, because now he's PR'd.
Now he's PR'd,
Right.
yeah. I had a 10-game grand finals set with Whiskers that he ended up winning last talk.
So it's kind of like how Fendi has a win over a top 5 player.
Oh, yeah. Wait, who?
Zane.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
No, it's not like that, because I beat him once he was PR'd.
Alright, fine.
But it is funny, because I do think Jamie is, in comparison to everyone in New York, probably worse now than he's been in a really long time.
That's weird.
He just was active for the past few months and got ranked. That's, like, literally all that happened.
Yeah.
And if people finally took notice of... the fact that he wins a tournament literally, like he wins Royal Smash every single week, and occasionally good players go there, and he just manages to add that to his resume.
Dang.
But yeah, it was my first NYCPR win, even though I ended up losing the fucking tournament to him last stock.
That's hype.
Yeah, it was fun though. It's fun playing like a 10-game set with, like he's probably one of the people I'd played the most Melee against ever in my life. You know, he's like my main training partner for a long time, so that's fun.
That's like when I used to have really long sets with Lod, like multiple sets in one bracket. The tightest set we ever had might have been the MDVA Invitational.
That was an
Finals.
amazing set.
Yeah.
You made such a sick comeback. That's maybe one of your greatest like single sprees of play ever, but not that many people have seen it.
Yeah, that's crazy because the VODs were uploaded like as a whole. Like the whole VOD was uploaded.
Right.
But if you guys want some good Melee, go watch the VOD. The whole VODs for that bracket were crazy.
Yeah, it's really. I mean, you were playing you and Laud both made like each of you made two crazy comebacks in like the top 4.
Yeah.
It was such a sick tournament.
It was ultra grand finals because first winner of that last set, and everybody was in the other room watching.
Mm-hmm.
Winner of that set got first, and loser got third because Junebug secured himself second place.
Yep. It was also so great. I forget who it was. I think it might have been June who said this, but you were down like 1 stock to 3. And everyone was like, oh, man. But June was like, Rishi can do this. I feel like he's going to make a comeback. Someone said something like that. And then you did. It was crazy.
Yeah, but before I got like the crazy early kill at the end, the first person to react to it was Zane. Because I got the forward air and Zane was like, it's over. And I immediately converted off of it and got a kill. At
It's like a ledge hop down air and then he just...
It was literally like a tipper forward air into a tipper F smash.
Oh, yeah, that's right. But you did get one, like, super early down air, too.
Probably.
Where he upbeat and it didn't get him all the way back.
And then one of the kills was, like, an up throw at 200.
I remember.
Dude, that set was crazy.
It was such a good set.
I can't believe that set was less than a year ago.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get Chillin to host another Invitational because I'm going to be back in Virginia for Thanksgiving.
Oh, true.
That's when we did it last year. And he was like, I don't know if I can justify hosting an Invitational I'm not invited to. But... I mean, he's hosting it. You know?
Yeah.
He'd be invited. He's probably still top 10 in NBA. Well,
nope.
Maybe not.
I really don't think he is.
It'd be more like a homie fest with a bracket. That's fine with me.
There's no way he's top 10.
No, he's not. I forgot how many good players.
There's good players now. Isn't Polish like 10th? I think Polish is
he's
literally
probably higher than
like
10 now.
9th on the PR. Though.
Yeah, he might be.
Right?
Yeah, and there's like Silly Willy and Bobby Big Balls up there too.
Yeah.
And
which is basically where I would put Chillin if he were playing right now. Like just came back right now and started playing.
Probably be under them.
Yeah,
right.
A little bit. But I mean, like Bobby Big Balls versus Chillin, I'd be like, whatever.
Yeah, I feel that way too.
Yeah.
So, did we not? I don't think we talked about Melee until like the last 5 minutes of this. What were we saying at the beginning of this episode? We work so much better
when we don't talk about Melee.
Yeah.
We're dragged down by this trash 17-year-old game.
Well, there was nothing this weekend to talk about. All right, guys, Big House bracket preview for you. Coming at you right now, SFAT versus Zane.
Is that happening? We didn't actually confirm that's happening.
Is it not? I don't want to look at the projections, man. They're gonna change like by tomorrow or the day after. By the time this podcast releases, the bracket's probably gonna change.
Okay, here's the one thing I want to say to you. Mango Zane is projected to happen.
Mango has to get through Lod.
Do you think that'll be hard?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it'll be hard.
Okay, that makes sense. But isn't Lod a little out of practice?
Yeah, but Lod's a god.
I mean, Mango's also literally called him a god for years. That's actually like, you know.
Yeah. Mango should not sleep on Lod. Lod's the best peach now, man.
I mean, yeah, we know that. Mango's also like been going even with the best peach for years on end now.
All right.
Although not as much with Falco.
What odds would you give me?
On Mango Lod?
Yeah. Because I'll take odds if anyone wants to side bet on Mango Lod. If they play. Lod would have to beat Moon first, but
probably
he was seated over him.
2-1 or 2-5.
I would do that.
Like, I think it's like around a 70% chance Mango wins.
Okay.
So that's where I would put it.
Anyway, you were asking about Mango Zane.
Oh, who do you predict will win that?
Zane.
Yeah?
I mean, yeah. Zane's never lost to Mango. I know that, like, that Mango has to win Big House.
Let's see.
Like,
I have no... Zane should win it. He totally should.
Yeah.
But something in my gut... You know, I saw that
where is that in brackets? Semis?
Yeah, I think so. That's where it would be, right?
So
it might be
So
Laud,
we could see a Laud Zane semis of Big House?
which would mean maybe Laud would go to winners finals.
Zane has won, like, the last, like, 5 times.
Okay.
But
Um,
yeah. That'd be crazy. That'd be insane.
listen, I'm just saying that...
Also, I think that'd be quarters, right? There's no way that's semis.
Why wouldn't it be?
I guess so. Mewtwo King's not going. So it's what? It's a Leffen, H-Box.
We can literally
got it.
find this. It's very easy. It's Leffen, H-Box, Plup, Zane, Mango. Oh, maybe it is quarters. No, I don't know. It depends on the seeding.
I think it's quarters.
It probably is quarters, actually. You're right.
Because that's only a handful of matches. Yeah, quarters.
Mm.
And Axe is up there. So what? Zane and Mango are the 4 and 5 seeds, right? No, this is flipped.
They're the no. The 4.
They're the 3 and 6 seeds. No.
No, they're the. Oh yeah, 4 and 5. Yeah, they're 4 and 5.
Yeah, 4 and 5.
Yeah, 4 and 5.
Because
Mango.
Leffen is first seed.
Mango 4, Zane 5.
Yeah. So it didn't matter if they were 5. There was someone complaining about, like, Laud versus Lucky or Zane versus Mango, but, like, if you switch these guys, you'd have Laud versus Zane and Mango versus Lucky in round 2, and that's a no-brainer to just switch them.
Dang, Johnny is the 7th seed of this tournament.
That's nuts.
That's crazy.
Where's Axe? I guess Axe has maintained his 8th seed.
Axe is 8th. Johnny is seated above Axe. That's crazy.
Yeah, that makes sense, right?
No, it does. And then where's Zach? Zach's 9th? Is that what that means?
If Zane is 5th, is 5th play the 9th seed?
Zach's right. No, he doesn't play Zane.
Oh, he doesn't. Oh.
He plays Axe.
Okay, so he's 9th.
So that means
8,
he's
9.
9th. Yeah. Dang, that's crazy.
Yeah, this will be an interesting bracket. You think this is Chew's tournament, man? If Chew beats Leffen in round 1 of winners.
Who does he have to play before that?
I forgot we have to check this far back for Chew now.
He has to play Kaizu, dude.
He has to play Kaizu.
Are you kidding me? You know why I asked that is because on Monday Morning Marth, Edwin's crazy. He did his, like, list of crazy predictions, some of which were stupid as fuck. He said Florida or SoCal won't win the crew battle.
Yeah, Tri-State will win.
Anyways,
Dude, Tri-State has our S team coming out.
But he said,
oh, look at this. Luna has to fight Rocky to get into winners, and he lost last time.
That's cool. That's a potential big matchup. Big upset. But Anoke said that his prediction was that Chudat was going to get 49th or lower, and I was like, there must be something in the bracket. He also said something about Bananas doing really well, so I bet Bananas has a really good bracket. He said he thinks Bananas will get top 16.
I don't know about that, man. That depends on a lot of things happening.
That is a potential... IBDW Yort is actually potentially interesting. Like, I know...
Who does Yort play?
Falco.
Nah, man. I have faith in Cody. Cody's not getting upset.
Yort's choked away so many close upsets on really good players recently.
I think Cody will bring it close versus Plup, even.
I can see that. Cody fucked up Plup in the Smash City video.
He straight up beat his sheet. He did better than anyone else in New York.
Yeah.
He took 5 stocks. The next most was me taking Samus to last stock, so I did 3.
Yeah. That's so crazy, dude. That Plup can just go whatever character he wants, and he doesn't he doesn't.
Yeah,
lose
to be
anyone.
fair, from Manhattan's side, like I had to carry us so hard, dude. Freaking hacks like choked everything away. Moon choked everything away, and I'm like, all right, I had to fight his Samus 4-on-4, and like it was last hit. Like I could have taken it to last character. The other two guys, come on, man.
And then Cody had to carry pretty hard too.
I mean, Cody took 5 stocks, and then someone else took 1, and there were no other stocks taken.
It was Nico and Emily.
Yeah,
so.
Nico and Emily took 1 stock collectively. So at least Manhattan did the best.
Is there really no one else from the Bronx?
There was someone supposed to be there, and Emily had to replace. I forget who it was.
Who would
If you guys missed it, Red Bull came to New York, and they did like a Smash City video with Plup where he fought the 3 best players in each borough. It was pretty cool. Obviously, Manhattan did the best because it's me, Luna, and Hacks.
Mm-hmm.
But those guys still didn't pull their weight.
Yeah, and
we did the best by 1 stock.
And then like Brooklyn was Smuckers,
G
and Animal.
yeah.
Yeah, Queens, like we said, was Nico, Cody, and Emily having to be a ringer.
So they got destroyed.
Or sorry, did I say Queens? I meant Bronx. Queens was
Cody.
Oh, Queens was Cody.
Yeah, Queens was Cody.
Oh wait, so Bronx was.
Was it Warrior Night?
Queens was Cody, Jamie, and Warrior Night.
Yeah.
Bronx was Nico, Emily,
Slocks.
and Slocks.
Yeah.
That's right. That's what it was. Yeah. And then that's all of them because Staten Island doesn't count.
Yeah.
Would have just been Ryan K.
Yeah.
Who used to live there.
It was cool though.
Who was the other Bronx player then though? I'm trying to think.
I don't know. I don't remember.
Who else is on the New York PR?
This will be a good one to watch. Zane Gatsu.
Leighton is Westchester, right?
He wasn't in the thing.
He wasn't even considered.
I don't think so. He wasn't in like the event page.
There's probably 2. Because Slocks isn't even technically Bronx, right? He's more.
Slocks wasn't a replacement though.
No, but I mean, like he's not even like Slocks is an honorary New York player, but he's more Bronx. I mean, he's more like upstate and Connecticut.
Yeah.
And two is like actually an upstate player more than anything, so it was probably 2.
Yeah.
I bet that's who it was.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I've like totally lost my train of thought.
Laud's gonna be in.
Oh. Yeah, maybe. Again, like this bracket's probably gonna change. They'll always change stuff close to the day of. I'm curious. Oh, I didn't even.
Laud versus Rocky is actually an interesting matchup if Rocky beats Luna.
Oh, I feel like they've played. I don't remember though, off the top of my
Rocky's
head.
just really, really good at floaty matchups and Peach especially, so could be interesting.
Are me and Chillin in the top 8 seeds? Probably not.
Why would you ever be in the top 8 seeds?
Because Chillin is a top.
Oh,
player.
right. Abby is going to this tournament.
Yeah. Is he not entering singles? I didn't see him anywhere in that bracket.
Neither did I, but he could be seated pretty low.
I think he might not enter because I think he's done that. Where are me and Chillin? We must be on the other side. Can't wait for this DK Samus action. There we go. Let's go.
You're seeded to lose to Ryan Ford and Army.
Who are we projected to lose to in Phase 1 pools? What is it, C109? Let's find out.
God. You said I don't even want to look at the bracket, and now we're seeing how your DK Samus team is going to do in doubles. Never underestimate Rishi's thirst for a good bracket.
I just want to see. I'm just curious. I don't care about brackets anymore in general, though. It's mostly for the entertainment value. What is this? Oh, we must be seated under Chelly and Captain Killam. Chillin has to lose to Chelly.
You're suited to lose to Colin and Kyle.
And Diz
Yeah.
Damn, if only someone on our team were good against Ices, then we wouldn't lose to Diz, Cobalt, and Ryan Ford Army. I guess we're screwed.
Is your DK good against Ices?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. What experience does it have?
Frostbite on net play.
Who's Frostbite?
He's one of the best Ices in MDVA.
Better than Edric?
I think he's PR'd above him. I can't remember off the top of my head. Edger's probably better, though.
Okay. All right. Somehow we got back to talking about Rishi's DK.
Oh, Wizzy and Avi are teaming again. They teamed last year, too.
Yeah. We're gonna take a brief break, and we'll be back soon. Since it looks like there really isn't that much to talk about in the Big House bracket.
Hey guys, another really quick one here. You can hear I'm talking really quietly because once again I'm recording this very late at night and people in my apartment are sleeping. But thanks for listening. Hope you guys are enjoying the episode so far. The rest of the episode we talk about nightmare stuff and Trulliam and all that. And of course that broke right after our last episode. And as this episode is coming out, another thing just broke with Chudat, so I guess that's what we'll talk about next week. But a bigger deal, we are going to be having the patron discussion, the next one, next week, because it'll be after Big House, and we can talk about Chudat too. It'll be after the episode comes out, so sometime between Wednesday and Friday, most likely. So for patrons, keep an eye out for that, and for those of you who aren't patrons, subscribe to the Patreon if you want to be a part of that. Thanks anyways, everyone, for listening. We really appreciate the support. And yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying the episode. Okay, bye. Sorry for being so quiet.
Hey guys, welcome back to Analog. It's now that we turn to a little bit more of a somber note. I said in the little mid-episode thing last week that we would talk about this, and I mean it's a good thing for sure, but it was a whirlwind that happened right after our episode, like literally immediately after we recorded.
I didn't see it till the next morning because I passed out like pretty soon after we recorded.
Yeah, but of course we're talking about Trulliam streaming and unwittingly outing Nightmare's crimes so that Nightmare could be banned from every tournament, which was sick.
Unwittingly is a good word because there were a few wits involved
whatsoever. Yeah, so I mean, Trulliam got on stream and he basically just took a bunch of pot shots at Anoke and Nikki for talking about Nightmare on the Melee Stats podcast. And then he said straight up that Nightmare fucked a 15-year-old, and then he was like, but it was consensual. And then he said it was sexual interference, which was the name of the crime. And so now we have
more information.
The whole thing before was that people said grooming of a minor and assault, and the whole statement is saying Vixing was not accused nor convicted of this because we just didn't have the crime. Now we know what it is, and so to say that happened is true and it's not libel. Yeah, and so it all worked out. But it's still sort of shitty the manner in which it had to work out was Trulliam literally letting it slip on stream.
Yeah. I recommend anyone who's interested to read the victim impact statement.
Yeah.
It's definitely not an easy read, but it was tweeted out by Emily. So Emily Wade's on Twitter, I'm pretty sure. Just some good perspective.
Yeah, it's a lot of good perspective if you think...
And that was shared by the victim.
Yes.
For the record, not just like someone found it online and chose to start spreading it.
There's a misconception that if it was asked for or consensual in some way, then it means it's okay, and it's unclear how true that is either way, if it was quote unquote consensual. But the fact of the matter is that minors can't give consent, and it's still and there's a reason for that, and this is a good illustration of why.
Yep.
So if you have this, obviously a content warning for sexual assault or sex with a minor, I guess is what it would be. But yeah, it's there. There was a Kotaku article that came out about it.
Yeah, I actually didn't see that. I'm gonna skim it while you talk about it.
Yeah, it came out, I think, earlier this morning. Yeah. Earlier today. 7 hours ago.
So noon on Monday.
Yeah, it gets most of the facts pretty right.
The hell is this banner?
Yeah. It gets most of the facts pretty right. They talked to Robotic Fish, who's one of the the spokesperson for the
task force,
for the harassment task force, and they spoke to a few other people, and yeah, it gets everything pretty right. It's not super. It really, reading it's not going to really tell you anything, but it is interesting. I was reading the comments on it, and it
why? What madness led you to that decision?
It was just to see, just to see.
Okay.
And there was some. I mean, mostly they were pretty fine because it was basically people being like, "Oh, this guy's a pedophile." But there was one comment. What was it? I forget. I don't even remember. But it was. I almost replied because there was a misconception about the specifics of the situation, and I almost replied. I was like, "This is so not worth it to just tell someone something that's sort of common knowledge now within the Melee community." Yeah, it's a lot of photos of Nightmare.
It just seems so out of place in the context of the article.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah.
Interesting.
So, I mean, good thing that it finally happened. Big shout-outs to all the people. I was around when pretty much this happened, so Joe2D is, really, really super to thank for all of this.
Yeah, he's the guy who spread the clips, right?
Yeah, he spread the clips, and it's unfortunate that we didn't get access to the whole VOD, which could have been useful in some ways, but Joe2D spreading the clips and even making, that sort of meme video of it, but it was good, brought a lot of attention to it, and people finally understood what was going on. Shoutouts to Kage for being pretty much the most vocal person, the most vocal top player when it was happening, and just continually talking about it and speaking to other people about it on Twitter. But a lot of it happened in the Melee Stats Discord, and just people from there doing stuff. So yeah, sorry, not Melee Stats. I mean, I'm sure Melee Stats too, but the Save Melee Discord. So they saved Melee a little bit. They got a little bit of their job done.
Nice job, guys.
Yeah.
I guess they didn't put Blur on trial for nothing.
God.
Thanks, Jim Muller.
Okay.
Sorry, this is the one Save Melee episode that I watched was them doing that.
Jim Muller.
Yeah.
Yeah, putting Blur on trial.
Yeah. Honestly, last week, I was not keeping track as well as I should have been. Given the other stuff I had to deal with last week. But I saw a lot of tweets about whether or not top players should be tweeting about this stuff. Mm-hmm. And you guys, I mean, you probably know my stance on it, which is that you should be talking about it because I try to on the platforms I have available to me. But I saw a few cases of top players saying nothing, not saying anything. They said something that was nothing about the topic,
yeah.
and then getting called out for it, and then revising what they did.
Yes,
and that's okay.
Yeah, and there was one incident where a top player tried to. I'm not even. Zane tried to say something.
I actually
missed.
I missed the joke. I saw.
I'm not going to bring it up because it is in really poor taste and just not funny at all.
Okay.
But Zane tried to say. He said, "Don't support pedophiles or don't support people who have sex with minors or go to tournaments that allow people to have them." And then he made a joke that was really bad in really poor taste, and just not funny either. Regarding Big House, and everyone was like, hey, maybe don't for this, and he deleted it, and he just tweeted the first part of his tweet that said, don't support people who have sex with minors or tournaments that do.
He also said, that's on me, or that's my bad, or something.
Yeah, and everyone was like, hey.
And you can do that.
Yeah, everyone was like,
you say
hey, good job.
Yeah, if you do something problematic, and someone calls you out for it, you're allowed to be wrong and correct yourself.
Yeah, dude, problematic is not a
state of being.
Yeah, sure. It's not a long-lasting stigma, you know?
Yeah.
You can just have done something problematic and then be like, oh, but you fixed it. We all do problematic shit.
The stigma comes from not accepting that you're wrong and then trying to justify it. And sometimes it's hard at first when you don't really fully grasp what is leading you to not be to be in the wrong in a situation. But like, as long as you come around, like, it's okay, you know, and people understand if you apologize, especially for top players who, like, I understand feeling like wary about saying anything because you don't want to say the wrong thing and you don't want to like draw unnecessary attention to yourself, but like everybody is kind of in the same spot where they're all like learning how to deal with these issues a little better. So shout out to all the top players who tried to say something, and especially those who said something that might not have been good, but then learned for the better.
Right? Yeah, learned is the right way to put it. I mean, this is just a little bit of internet history for those of you who might not know it, but the origins of problematic as like this sort of catch-all term we use comes from Tumblr, specifically. It comes from a Tumblr that was called Your Fave is Problematic. .tumblr.com.
I like where this is going.
And it was a blog that basically would like log problematic things celebrities did, because you know Tumblr's a lot about celebrity culture, and a lot of those celebrities are not always the greatest people, and so that's where it comes from. And it's problematic's a good term because it doesn't mean like this person is verboten, like we're done with them. It means like, hey, they did something that's maybe you should think about. It's a problem, you know, to be solved. But
this action is representing like a negative undercurrent.
Yeah, exactly. But the framework of Your Fave is Problematic was good for Tumblr at the time because it was questioning this completely uncritical embracing of like celebrities and everything they did, and just not paying attention to the shitty stuff they did.
Yeah, it's idolization.
Right. It also is like, in this day and age, people make fun of it because people who still remember it, because at this point it's like everyone is problematic, and acknowledging someone as problematic, like it shouldn't be a thing where it's just like fuck this person forever. Certainly there are people who should deserve that label, but yeah, so that's where it comes from, is from yourfaveisproblematic.tumblr.com, and it was just like every celebrity. It was like a list of all the dumb, you know, uneducated thing they've said, but you can do that and then be better after that too. So yeah, that's a little history lesson for those of you who weren't on Tumblr,
like me.
Yeah,
I wasn't on Tumblr.
I love when we talk about the structure of the internet and how it affects Smash.
Yeah, we go all the way back to our first episode.
Exactly.
We talked about that then, right?
Yeah, that's why I loved that. I still think that's one of the best conversations we had on the podcast.
It's cool. I actually saw Nakat tweeting last week saying like, I hope All Is Brawl or something similar comes back for Smash Ultimate.
That's true.
But also, why? Like I think we have those bases covered.
All Is Brawl is another one that we didn't even talk about when we talked about like forum culture and all of that.
Brawl facilitated like the brawl culture in large part because so many of the top 2B top brawl players and now top Smash 4 players were too young to be traveling to tournaments very often, including me and Lod.
Right.
So a lot of them like crewed up in brawl Wi-Fi crews, like street brawlers with a dollar sign.
Oh, with a dollar
instead
sign.
of an S.
Yeah.
Like I know a bunch of people were in that. Junebug was in that. Lada and I came from like the Melee Smashboards crew, so we weren't too involved in that. But like you see the names that were on All Is Brawl.
Gamers.
Yeah. Well, there's a long list of crews. I won't get into it. Video Gamers is more recent. But yeah, Brawl. I mean, it had the chat rooms and it had like the blogs and the groups and everything. And I think Smash Ladder is pretty much that. I feel like Smash Ladder has all those capabilities. It's just I actually don't think Smash 4 players use Smash Ladder at all.
Yeah,
I think they have like private Discords and Facebook groups.
They do. Yeah, there's so many interesting things to talk about with brawl culture, especially like something else we didn't talk about is how much the brawl community, if you talk to people who played brawl seriously or just like were playing video games when brawl came out, so much of brawl's community and fan base was influenced by webcomics too. So Brawl in
I read
Brawl
in the Family,
and Awkward Zombies, the other big one, Katie Tiedrick's comic, where that was like she did a bunch of video game stuff, but when Brawl came out, a ton of her comics were about Brawl and Roy and Ike and all that sort of stuff. But I mean, there's a lot of like of Smash community stuff that comes from there too.
Did you ever watch There Will Be Brawl?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I think we talked about that, but my god, that was I tried to rewatch it the other day, and it's so bad.
Really?
Like, looking back
I've
at
been
it
thinking
these
about
days.
trying to rewatch it.
It's just so, like, unnecessarily dark and, like, just to the point of cheesiness.
I remember a lot of episodes started to drag with the monologues.
Yeah.
It's like, who had the time to write these monologues for Ganondorf? Like,
yeah.
But if you guys never watched There Will Be Brawl, it's all online somewhere. Matt Mercer is involved with it.
It's so funny that it's called There Will Be Brawl because this is a little personal anecdote that I always share because, you know, film's my other big thing. So the Oscars that There Will Be Blood was at was the first Oscars I really watched and paid attention to. And I think for a lot of people around my age, they were the first Oscars they watched and paid attention to. And the two most winning movies at those Oscars, they swept pretty much everything, was There Will Be Blood and No Country for Old Men. And now if you've seen those movies, the stories of each of them are pretty much what you would expect from the title of the other one. There Will Be Blood is a drama about men trying to figure out oil stuff. And No Country for Old Men is about a psychopathic serial murderer.
Interesting.
So I always had a hard time, because I hadn't seen either of those movies, distinguishing which was which as a kid.
Yeah.
And it's even funnier that There Will Be Brawl takes from There Will Be Blood, which is, it's about oil. It's like...
Yeah. Well, Game & Watch is in There Will Be Brawl,
That's
so...
true. It's true. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, looping all the way back to where we were... Listen, one of the only pieces of hate we ever get on Analog that we've gotten on Analog, other than that our audio levels are too low, which, like, guys, I don't know. I don't lower them anymore. I can see it going to an appropriate level now. You've been listening to too loud YouTube videos your entire life. The only pieces of hate we got were like, you fuckers are talking about Nightmare and saying you don't want to commentate his tournaments he's at when you don't even know about the situation. And, I don't know. I'm just going to I'm like, thank God that's all over with.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
The other piece of hate we get is that there's no timestamps.
Oh, that's true.
Sorry about that, guys.
If one of you wants to do timestamps for us, we would greatly appreciate it. Yeah.
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 I think everyone's pretty much on the same page about Nightmare at this point. So,
guys,
what else do you say?
Had sex with a 15-year-old. Like, come on. And I'm just... So funny that we got people saying we didn't know what we were talking about.
I know.
That was interesting.
I think that's how we know we made it. Once you get comments like that.
There was another comment that said, for some reason I see a lot more of the people defending Nightmare on your guys' podcast than on other podcasts. Keep up the good work.
That's hilarious.
It's like,
that's a good sign.
Yeah. I don't know. Oh, God. Yeah. I think the last thing I want to say about Nightmare is, so Mewtwo Queen, Kayla, made a tweet after all the Nightmare stuff happened, and she was like, Nightmare was my favorite player in the entire world. My Marth is entirely based on his. And if you've ever watched a Nightmare video and a Mewtwo Queen video, you know that's entirely true. Like, everything she does is, like, she goes for the side B spikes, she goes for the reverse bears and stuff. It's, like, all Nightmare stuff. And she said, and he's always was really nice to me and helped me out with the game and, like, would talk to me whenever. And then she said, but we don't make excuses for people. You don't come back from that. And, like, you know, you did for someone who had sex with a minor. And
that reminds me of that that monologue that Stephen Colbert gave at some point. You know what I'm talking about?
Which one?
About Les, where he's talking about how like this
about
guy,
Les Moonves?
Yeah, where he's like, this guy gave me my job, you know, this show wouldn't be there without him, and I don't want to try and quote him because I can't remember what he said, but it was really well articulated. The way the basic idea is that like the standards we apply to how people behave apply to every person.
They should apply to your friends more than anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think one of the most influential people in my life in terms of how I learned about art was my photography professor at Columbia, who was a really well-renowned professor and photographer, and spent a lot of time talking to me about art and how he felt about art. And I thought he was a really he was a guy who really considered viewpoints other than his own, even though he would be very like, he would argue his own viewpoint, but he would always consider the viewpoints of others. And he really was important to me in rethinking how I thought about art and making some of the art that's most like deeply personal to me. And then, you know, stuff about him came out a year ago, and I don't talk to that guy anymore, and I fucking condemn him and his actions, because fuck that. That doesn't change anything. It still means he's one of the most important people in my development as an artist. It doesn't change that.
Yeah.
And it's hard, but, you know, that's just how it is.
Yep. That's life.
It can be both things.
It's not black and white.
Yeah. It can be both things. That's the...
Yeah,
not acknowledging that is what people who are going to make straw man arguments and pigeonhole people who are against sexual assault.
Yeah.
They like to pretend that we're saying like, you know, this person is just, everything they've done is vile and disgusting, and they're a completely irredeemable piece of human trash. And also, Nightmare was never good at melee, by the way, anyways, and that's not what anyone's saying.
Yeah, that's kind of what I look for as like a concrete sign of progress, is like when are we able to have the nuanced conversation? And I think we get a little closer.
Right, and the nuance
with every incident.
The nuance is also, I mean, it's that nuance and the fact that these people, especially with Me Too and stuff like these people in positions of power being taken down, not for all of them, not for someone, I don't know, not for like people who people know are creeps or who are just working behind the scenes, but part of the reason that it is so important is that someone can like have inspired someone and benefited, and the repercussions of what they've done are more important because of that, you know? Mm-hmm. Like, it's hard for people, and they're going to acknowledge that for sure. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like, that's part of what makes it so important, is when the people who are responsible for something that deeply emotionally affects people, like the good things, nominally good things they've done.
Everyone is people. Like that for someone else, right?
Yeah. Yeah, true. Yeah, that's definitely true.
A lot to think about. I'm really looking forward to our, not as a self-plug, but to our Patreon chat, just because I want to hear what people have to say about what we've been talking about specifically and how we're guiding the conversation.
Yep. So that'll happen next
Big
week,
House, yeah.
After Big House. Yeah.
And we're planning it better this time. So.
Yeah, we'll announce it. We'll announce the day we're doing it and everything. Well beforehand. You'll probably have just heard it already, because I'll probably have said it in the interstitial, because Richie and I will probably figure it out after this. So it's happening then, when I said it is.
Yeah.
And also, I'll put it in the Discord and stuff so that you guys know.
Yeah, we may even try and get a couple options for people, see what works.
Yeah, we definitely, we actually probably definitely will. But sometime next week, after the Big House episode, so...
Yep.
So sometime between Wednesday and Friday next week.
We'll have a lot to talk about.
Yeah,
for sure.
Sometime between Wednesday and Friday next week
Wednesday
is
when
you can expect it. Yeah. All right. Think that does it for us, guys.
Yep. Thanks for listening, as always.
Yeah, guys, we fucking got a sexual abuser out of the community. I don't know. We got a guy who had sex with a minor out of the community. I'll stick to the language we know that happened. Thanks, Trulliam.
Yeah. Come say hi at Big House.
Yeah, to Rishi. I won't be there. But say hi to
Come
Rishi.
say hi to me.
Yeah, if you come to Columbia Weekly, you can say hi to me.
Come to Zane's apartment and play Mario Party with him.
Yeah. All right, bye guys.
See ya.